Have you ever wondered why about 90% of the world's population is right-handed? It seems a bit strange, doesn't it? Why aren't we split 50-50? Well, get ready to dive into the fascinating science behind handedness, because the reasons are a mix of genetics, brain science, and even a bit of social history. First, let's talk about our brains. Your brain is split into two halves, the left and right hemispheres. For most people, the left hemisphere controls language and fine motor skills. Since the left side of the brain controls the right side of the body, it's believed this specialization for language in the left hemisphere also led to a preference for using the right hand for tasks that require precision, like writing. It's an efficiency thing. Our brains like to keep related functions close together. So for the majority of humanity, language and dominant hand control ended up on the same team. But what about the other 10%? Genetics definitely plays a role. While there isn't a single left-handed gene, scientists have identified several genes that are linked to handedness. It's a complex puzzle. If both your parents are left-handed, you have about a 25% chance of being a lefty yourself. That's higher than the general population, but it's far from a guarantee. This tells us that genes influence our handedness, but they don't completely decide it. It's more like they give you a nudge in one direction or the other. Think of it as a genetic lottery with many different tickets. Now, let's step back in time. Historically, being left-handed wasn't always easy. Many cultures viewed left-handedness with suspicion. The word sinister, for example, comes from the Latin word for left. In schools, children were often forced to write with their right hands, sometimes even having their left hand tied behind their back. This social pressure undoubtedly reduced the number of people who identified as left-handed, even if they were naturally inclined that way. Fortunately, these old-fashioned ideas have mostly disappeared, and we're seeing a slight increase in the number of left-handers today, probably because people are now free to use whichever hand feels natural. So, why are left-handers so rare? It's a beautiful combination of factors. Our brains are wired for efficiency, which gives a slight advantage to the right hand for most people. Genetics then throws a few wild cards into the mix, ensuring that a small but consistent portion of us will always be left-handed. And finally, social acceptance has allowed those natural tendencies to flourish. The world of lefties is full of fascinating tidbits. For example, in some sports like boxing or baseball, being left-handed can be a strategic advantage because opponents are less used to facing them. So, while they might be a minority, left-handers definitely have their own unique strengths. It's a perfect example of how diversity, even in something as simple as which hand you write with, makes our world so much more interesting. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the world of handedness. If you found this interesting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more curious content, and share this with your favorite lefty. See you in the next video.